Hi, everyone. I'm Mary McCourt, and I'm a peer career advisor at Middlebury CCI. And today we're going to talk about the best practices for professional networking. So here's our agenda. Why is networking important? Where to start? Writing emails, phone calls, and asking for referrals. So why is networking important? Networking helps in four ways. One, you can explore careers. Two, learn specifics about opportunities. Three, find potential internships and jobs. And four, which is probably the most important, create trust between you and the employer. By networking, you can reach out to companies, learn more about them, get to talk to real employees, and they get to know you more. You know, you're not just application, you're a person along with that resume and awesome cover letter. So where do you start networking? Networking can be really intimidating, especially if you've never done it before. Reaching out to professionals that are a couple of years older than you, or maybe even decades into their career, can be very intimidating. So start small. Middlebury CCI has some really great resources. Mid to Mid, which is going to be covered in another video, clubs and activities such as Middlebury Consulting Group, SIC, Mid Law, the Pre-Health Society, and my favorite, Middlebury Women on Wall Street, are all really great places to get started, meet some other students, network amongst yourselves too, not just with professionals. All of those clubs and activities have really great events that go on that can connect you to some professionals out in different careers. Internships, LinkedIn is also a really great source. Don't be afraid to message people on LinkedIn who you don't know. Always just send a quick note along with a LinkedIn connection request, explain like who you are, just say you're interested in their career and possibly like connected with them. That will also be covered in another video by one of my coworkers. And internships and volunteering are also a really great way. You never know what internship experience or volunteering experience might open up some doors. You never know who you're going to meet. So, Big Brother's always watching. You don't know who is going to help you out later down the line. And then 5, networking events. You can register for these on Handshake. Go right into Handshake, go to events. You can register with your Handshake profile. These are really great ways to meet professionals out in the workplace. So writing networking emails. Here are some tips for writing networking emails. So always keep it brief. Professionals have a lot of like busy schedules. You don't want it to write a really big long essay about who you are and everything. You want to keep it quick to the point. Always attach a resume. It just helps with not having to send back emails and waiting, having like long waiting periods. So they can always just look at your resume if they want to talk to you. If you have a good resume, that can help you get in the door. Also, don't panic if you don't hear back. People are busy. Inboxes get cluttered, so don't panic. Always respond in a timely manner. Even if they don't respond to you right away, you should always respond in a timely manner. I'd say definitely within the 24-hour period. But honestly, as soon as you get it and have time to craft a good response, like when you can talk, try and get that out as soon as possible. And 5, always show gratitude. All these professionals are taking time out of their day to speak with you. For the most part, like I've never had a problem with Middlebury alumni saying no to me. Most of us are very happy to help out anyone from the Middlebury community. So the structure of networking emails. These are just 5 quick steps to write a networking email. 1, quick introduction. 2, explain how you got their contact information, where you met. That can come from, those things we talked about, such as LinkedIn, Handshake, Mid to Mid, LinkedIn, or just a referral from someone else recommending you to speak with them. Show your interest in their career path. Be like, hey, I was really interested in doing something that you're doing. I'm really interested in, say, investment banking, a career in education, whatever it may be. 4, ask for a brief phone call and give your availability in the networking email. You don't want to say, hey, can you talk? Them say, yes, when are you available? You have to give it time. It's just too many emails to go back and forth. So if you can say your availability in that initial email, it just makes things a lot easier. They can just pick a time slot. Don't say something super broad like evenings all week. Like that's very vague. Give them certain time slots so they can just look at their calendar, pick one. And again, show gratitude. Cannot stress this enough. So let's look at a sample email. These are the emails I would write to professionals. They're quick, to the point. I think they're good. So you just be like, hi, so-and-so. For someone older, I would say Mr. or Mrs. If it's just a Middlebury alum that graduated a couple of years ago, like within the last 2 or 3, and they're only a few years older than us, it's totally okay to just use their first name. And then once they reply to you, just address them how they signed off in the second email. So, quick introduction, my name is so and so, and I'm whatever, sophomore, junior, senior at Middlebury College. Tell them your major, your minor. We met at whatever or whoever recommended you. Or if you just met them at a networking event and you said you want to follow up from a conversation, just so that, because they're probably receiving a lot of emails like this and this will help them remember you. 3, I'm very interested in whatever the field is and want to learn more about your professional career. 4, if you had time for a 20-minute phone call, I'd really appreciate it. That just shows like how much time you're asking of them. It's easy for them to think and block out 20 minutes of their time. It shows that you're not like going out there asking for like an hour-long phone call. And 5, like just really appreciating that they're going to take the time and again, give your availability and just say, let them know what works for them. And then you can just sign off with best in your name. So phone calls, usually after that email, you might be able to schedule a phone call. So 1, be very upbeat and excited. It's always exciting talking to professionals. You've done all the hard work trying to get that phone call. So now you want to go off and impress them, but also don't be a questionnaire. Ask how they're doing. Be like, oh, how's your day? You know, we're all dealing with COVID right now. So ask really like how they're doing, because you just don't want to go into a conversation like this and just start peppering people right away, because it's a little unprofessional and it just makes you seem like you just want something, you don't really care about them. Have a pen and paper ready. Try not to use your computer typing. It's okay if it's just like introductory emails, but like especially if it's something a little more serious or someone more senior, you really just want to write with a pen and paper. Make a list of questions you want to ask. You don't want to be sitting on the phone like, oh my gosh, what am I going to say next? Especially for introverts, like especially me, I always started to panic when they were answering me, but I would be thinking about the next question. So try not to do that. Instead, number 5, listen to them. Usually you can craft better questions if you listen to their responses, and it creates some more flowing conversation rather than you just reading off that list of questions. Again, thank them for their time. They're taking time out of the day to help you. You can always end if you don't really know when the conversation's coming to a close. You can just say at the 20-minute mark, I just want to be respectful of your schedule. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me. I really appreciate it. And sometimes they'll say, yeah, thank you so much. Hope you have a great rest of the day. You know, happy to like chat again, or email me with a follow-up. Or they could say, hey, I have 10 more minutes, so happy to stay on a little bit longer. But that way it doesn't seem like you're just trying to go over and take up so much of their time. And it's just everyone's being aware of each other's boundaries. And always, always, always follow up with an email. I cannot stress this enough. Even if it seems like you don't have to, just even 2 quick lines of, hey, thanks for talking with me yesterday. I really appreciate it. I'll let you know how the process goes. Something very cute, simple, like to the point, doesn't have to be an essay. And then referrals. So the entire point of networking is to, like we said, explore, learn more about opportunities, but referrals is a big part of the job search and recruitment process. So looking at these, never ask directly for a referral. Don't get on the phone, especially if it's someone you've never met before, or even just met once or twice. Don't be like, hey, can you refer me? It's a little unprofessional. They already know why you're reaching out to them. And again, you're really just trying to build that trust, like we talked about in the beginning of this video. You're building that trust with someone. So when I was recruiting at a bank, someone explained to me that recruiting is like a class. Your networking is all the midterms, essays, and office hours, and your interview is the final exam. So if you've done your job networking, all these professionals will know, well, they'll know you. And when they'll either offer to push your resume or they'll just do it automatically. So in practice, I would email my network once I finished my application and be like, hi, so-and-so, I just wanted to let you know I applied for, you know, whatever it was. Thank you so much for lending your time. I really enjoyed what you're doing and would really like to pursue an internship or career doing this. And sometimes they just like don't say anything, but other times they can come back and say, hey, I reached out to HR, I pushed your resume, or they'll say, good luck with the process. But never just straight up ask for a referral. Other resources. So I created a Go link called go/networking guide. Go/networking was already taken. But this is a more robust guide of different aspects of networking. There's some examples of good questions to ask in networking phone calls. Another section about fears and concerns you may have about networking. Never be afraid of networking. Honestly, the biggest thing that helped me in recruitment was just being confident and being personable. They're not trying to hire a robot. They're hiring a person to sit next to them, whether it's in the office or, wherever. They really just want to get to know you. So make sure your personality really shines through in that phone call. And there's also strategies for introverts. Networking can be intimidating, especially if it's like an on-campus networking event where everyone's standing in a big circle and you have to, get your voice in so they notice you. So there's some really good strategies in the guide about that. And there's more about mid to mid and LinkedIn in there as well. Again, those two topics are covered in another video, but this guide also has some really great tips about that. And number two, visit the CCI. I'm happy to help out. I know all my other PCAs are happy to talk to any interested students and help out with some networking. Also, feel free to go on Handshake. We can help you schedule an appointment with a career advisor. So hope to see you at the CCI.